Assalamualaikum class 8. Today we are here with our English lecture and today we are going to start our Nelson English unit number 3. We will do its reading and comprehension. It is actually a poem. Before this we had done 2 lessons and they were prose. There's a difference between the prose and the poetry or poem. Actually these both are the types of literature, and in poem there is rhyme, rhythm or meter, and the poet uses different techniques to express his feelings or imaginations. You may say that imagination of the poet can put into the words, and that is called a poem. So the poet, as I told you, that uses different techniques, and they are visualization. Like if you want to say that the written words can be staged or can be turned into a movie, that is called the visualization. Like if I say that if you want to make a movie, that movie or that drama or film can be written or should be written, first of all written down, and to turn the written word into something we can watch, it has to be visualized. So this is called the visualization. In this poem we will read the poem as well, and beside it we will see the visualization. And for visualization you have to take shots, there will be the camera and the other things. So would you be able to make a film or visualize it after reading the poem? Let's have a look. Okay, this is the title of the poem, title picture, and the poem title says No Water. Okay, the way title suggests something that what is going to be in the poem, and you can see in the title picture there is sand. I guess there is some desert or there's a skeleton, so there won't be any water, and there would be no grass or everything will be dry. So let's see what is in the poem. Before starting the poem, here are the meanings of difficult words. Here are they written. Drought means famine. Famine means kahat. Cracked, broken. Warning, to notify someone about some danger. Stranger, one whom you don't know. Okay, here we are going to start our reading, and what we hear, voice reading poem, and this is here the visualization. You can see. Sun hot has not rained, no water walked miles. But water is mud, river is dry. Can't bathe, can't drink. Brown grass, no grass. Skeletons stare from cracked earth. It means that there is very hot sun, and it has not rained for so many days and for so many years, you may say. And the poet has walked miles, where it is written that walked miles. That means the poet has walked miles, and why he has done so? Because he is in search of water. So but water is mud, because water is dirty, filthy. Water is full of mud. Rivers are dry, can't bathe, he can't take a bath, even he can't drink water. And the grass is brown, it's not green, because there is no water there, it has not rained. That is why the grass is also brown. Or skeletons stare, even it is that hot that the skeletons on the sand are also staring for some rain or some water from cracked earth. The earth is cracked or broken from different sides. Okay, then one morning without a warning, the sound of rain, a stranger tapping, pitter pattering. So then suddenly one morning, what happens? Without a warning, there's no warning, like there nobody notifies that what is going to happen next. Sound of rain, a stranger tapping. Here the poet is saying the rain, a stranger, because it has not rained so many days, from so many days, so the rain is stranger here. So it is tapping, like it's walking very quietly. And pitter pattering, this is the sound of rain water onto our rooftop. And it has started raining and at our rooftops, into our pails, into our buckets. So there are buckets to store the water. giving birth to streams. So the streams, the rivers were dry. Now it has started raining, and it will refill those streams and rivers, filling our rivers, feeding the cattle, the sound of rain. So the cattle were also hungry. They didn't have any grass. They didn't have any feed to for themselves. So it has started raining. It will automatically feed them. We are all smiling. My father is hugging my mother. Children running naked, mouths open towards the gourds. Why are their mouths open towards the gourd? Because they are thanking the God that he had rained. We are all laughing, me forgetting to hide the gap between my teeth. So the poet is saying that there was a gap in between his teeth, and he has forgotten in and that happiness of raining. So this is all about rain. So there's a contrast in the poem. You can see that in the starting stanzas there was no rain, everything was barren, everything was brown, and a river were dry, all the thing. And in the very next stanzas it started raining. So there's a contrast. Contrast means that in the same poem, when one thing is bad and the other thing is good, or one thing is happening and the other thing is not. So it means contrast is something that in a very same thing you talk about two opposite things. So this is the contrast in this poem. And if you want to talk about the pictures on screen, like visualization, you may see first shot, burning sun, teenage boy walking tired, thirsty, dry, dusty road. So when you will read the poem, this all comes into your mind, okay? And second shot mein you will show, zoom in one dry riverbed, one small patch of damp mud, pan out to boy kneeling over skeleton of dead cow on dry cracked earth. So you will show all these things. And in the third shot, you will show them that rain on the rooftops, a few drops at first, getting increasingly heavy. So you will show the rain in that movie or film. And in fourth shot, buckets overflowing, cameras follows water from buckets to a stream, and then a river, cattle grazing by river. And in fifth shot, father and mother hugging, standing in the rain, naked children playing in the rain, laughing. Figure from first shot facing camera, dripping wet and grinning. So this is all about the visualization, like how you are going to convert these words of the poem into a movie or film. So I hope you have understood it. So now start our exercise. It's comprehension. Part A. Copy these sentences, fill in the missing words. The poet has walked from for dash. You already know how to do it. Complete it in your books. The dash is dry. There are dash staring at him. When it rains, dash begin to flow. Everybody is dash and dash. So this is all about fill in the missing words. Here comes the B part of our exercise, and that is comprehension. Explain the following in your own words. Water is mud. So what did I tell you in the poem? That water is mud, and water is filthy. It is muddy. It is they are unable to drink that water. Our pails are buckets. The people have put there for refilling from water when it started raining. And towards the gods, they were looking at the sky and they were thanking the god. Question number 2. Why do you think the poet has walked miles? We have already discussed this question in the poem, that the poet had walked miles because he was in search of water. Why do you think the earth is described as cracked? Okay, why is the earth described as cracked? You already know the answer. You must write it because it was quite sunny and hot. There was not water for so long, and resultantly the earth has become cracked. Why do you think the rain is described as stranger? Okay, stranger is someone whom you don't know. So it has not rained for so many days. So that's why the poet has described rain as a stranger. Write a few sentences to explain how the poet has used contrast in the poem. Okay, we have already discussed what is contrast. Contrast is something two opposite things described in the same poem. Like in the starting stanzas, there was no water, the sun was hot, there was skeletons staving from cracked earth. They could not drink, they could not bath. Rivers were dry, streams were dry. So in the next stanzas, what happens? Opposite happens. It started raining. There was a sound of rain, and the buckets were filled with water. Rivers and streams were filled with water, and the cattle were fed. All were smiling. So this is a contrast. One thing is opposite from the other. C part. What we see explains how film of the poem could be made. It is called a visualization. This is your creative writing part. Write a paragraph to explain why you think this is or is not a good visualization of the poem. Okay, so you have to write a paragraph and you have to explain. You read the poem, whether you could visualize it or not, whether the words of the poem were quite strong to make you visualize it or not, कि आप उसको अच्छी तरह से अपने जहन में बना सके या नहीं बना सके, लाइक विजुअलाइज करना. ठीक है, जो वर्ड्स आपने पढ़े उसकी वजह से आपके जहन में एक इमेजरी कायम हुई या नहीं हुई. So this is all about the comprehension. You have to do it on your journals, and in the next lecture we will do the remaining exercise of this lesson. Till then, read the poem and learn it, do the comprehension on your journals, and see you in the next lecture. Allah Hafiz.